We gotta talk. It's time to talk about Paralives, and this game, developed by an indie studio, has been raising some kind of curiosity across the community of die-hard Sims fans, but also simulation fans. And now, as there was finally the face reveal, or like actually the people reveal a few days ago, well actually yesterday, we gotta talk, because I kind of kept a little bit quiet about this game. I've been following the development for, let's say, at least a good few months, and I was a bit skeptical about a lot of things because it was looking very promising, very good, but yet you couldn't really tell what was going on. But now let's dive into what is actually going on with the wonderful video that has been shown yesterday of Maggie. And afterwards we're going to talk about a little bit more what my thoughts are on and why I think this can be a really great challenger for The Sims actually, and in general just being a very good game. Now you can see here, this is the wonderful new person, and a lot of things seem to be familiar, but how they access the art style of the people and of the overall game is really cool. I think it has something of Life is Strange to it, but also it has something like art styles that you do know from various Japanese comics or stuff like that. I don't know why, but I had a feeling of Spirited Away, for example, stuff like that, just in a bit more modern way. And I think this is a great change of perspective from the, let's say, more, I don't know if it's down to life, but it's The Sims tries to achieve some real life looking graphics and stuff while still being cartoony. And this one, while also being quite cartoony, has such a unique art style and such a unique set of things that it differentiates enough from, for example, The Sims to be a very much valuable and very cool new option. And yeah, I said at the beginning I am skeptical. And I still am. I'm really looking forward to see some more updates on that, but it's looking very promising, especially the ability to customize things. As you know from me and the channel, I am very much into the tiniest and little details available. I was like always about finding new ways to get in detail and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to see that they, carried forward from their lovely little idea they had already in the building, which we are looking at in a few seconds as well. But let's just first jump a little bit deeper into the actual reveal of the art style of Maggie. So Maggie is the first person we see in this game. Let me just stop this game over here. You can see the overall art style is quite different to The Sims. I'm going to put a image of The Sims to the top right now so you guys can see the difference in between. Now what I like especially about this game, and I'm also going to put a Life is Strange image in here now, you can really see how the different layers go in here. So first of all, I like the colors. It's really warm, it's really nice, and you can see really the window into the outside. It almost looks like a painting, a comic painting, while these images in here and so on go a bit more into the, as I said, it's almost like the Japanese comic style in these movies you can see there. And the person itself looks almost 2D. It doesn't really have that much depth to it, but you can really see it's a 3D model, and I love it. If we go further a little bit more, you can see, especially in this frame, it's really lacking some depth, but I was really afraid in the first second that this would be an issue, but it's not. It really goes into being like a painting. I like this frame over here. It shows you that this almost has the appeal of a painting, and I like this because you have to see it that way. If you want to have a challenger for a game that is so well established as The Sims is, for example, you cannot just go in and copy and try to make some features better. That's kind of a big danger, because you need to be stepping apart. You need to go a step ahead. You need to deliver something that is quite unique. And for once, the building system seems to be very unique, as we will talk about a bit later. But also the art style now is unique. And I gotta say, many people always talk about being in a situation, and while I'm talking, I'm just going to leave this play. Many people talk about this as well, that, for example, old games have a very much better appeal. People talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon, how cool the original was. People talking about Zoo Tycoon. People talking about the original SimCity. And all these games have one thing in common, and that is the atmosphere and the kind of creative approach of these games in the time where the graphics were not the main thing. especially if you also look in shooters. Many people still believe that Call of Duty 2 was one of the best Call of Duties. And the reason for that is also in the way how the developers at the time worked around issues they have because they couldn't realize that graphic wise. And I'm really a big fan of these indie studios nowadays trying to go in and set sails for something that is more back to the roots of games, and this is delivering experience, a very nice experience that delivers on a completely different level, and that is the art style and the overall atmosphere, the overall coherence of the presentation. And I think we can argue that The Sims is lacking a lot of things in that kind of regard. It developed over time. Obviously, it has a very unique art style on its own as well. But it's already there. It's seen. It's boring. It's it's almost like mainstream. Okay, so. I mean this in a not too negative way. It's cool, it's still good looking, I like it. If it wasn't about the money, I would still play Sims 4, but well, I'm not like, I'm not a billionaire, so I don't want to spend all of that. I don't have all the DLCs, so I'm not gonna go in there again. But all over the place, and all over the place, all in here, I can only say this is very nice. And let me just go for one special thing I wanted to talk about, and this is the outfit overview. So it's cool that you can create your own outfit and save it. It's very cool that you can change things on the go. I'm quite certain that this is only like a presentation work over here right now. So the presentation work is almost here to be all the functions in the game. I'm quite certain that you will in the end have the opportunity to create your person in advance to the game itself. I think this is just a test environment over here where we're looking at that. But yeah, now as we talked about the person, let's jump back to what we already knew quite a few months ago, but I still want to take this video and make like a full overview of it and give you my thoughts on it and my spin on it. And so yeah, let's jump ahead and go into the building. Now there we go. This is the overview to the building. I'm gonna make the speed of the video a little bit slower so we can have a better view on what is happening. Now this is very cool. You know me as someone who is trying to utilize every single option, for example in the Planet games, but also trying to play City Skylines with the most available mods and customization objects. And I love the fact over here. Now let me just jump back to The Sims, and one of the things that kept me away from playing The Sims, except the money part of course, is the lack of customization in many things. You have a sheer unlimited amount of pieces, but every single piece lacks a certain thing. Some pieces are not like flexi-color enough, some pieces are not like the right size, some other pieces cannot attach to some other stuff, some other pieces cannot rotate the way you want, and so on and so forth. So this over here is very cool indeed, because this shows you that no matter what you need and want to do, you can do it with the piece. It almost like in this Roboco game I played recently, where every single piece in the game you can resize and recolor. And I think since the engines became so good and so powerful, I don't have any problem believing that this is also performance-wise very easy to do and very cool to realize. So this system in place over here is super awesome, and now the picture starts to frame, the picture starts to come together. Now this is also the reason why they went for a certain art style. Now with this specific art style they go for in this actual game, they have the very big opportunity and also the chance to make this all work, because they don't go into high-res textures that have a big issue. Because if you want to resize these elements as they do in this demo over here, you have the one big issue that the texture has to scale with it likely. Now if you go for high-res 4K textures, real life, bump maps, blah blah blah, there is a high chance that it's going to be looking ugly when you drag all of these things. You have to imagine that there is a texture which is mostly 1x1 framed, and it's going to scale, and you have to say to the game how the texture would scale, but it's kind of problematic if you do this in here, because it will have kind of an ugly looking wood texture then, which is way too stretched out or way too cramped. But going that route over here, making really the atmosphere work, making the lighting work, making the overall creativity you can work with work, and using also a lot less voxels and also vertices in the models itself, creates this wonderful almost pixel-ish look, but still looking somehow cool, and because of the engine and because of the lighting and the shading, it gets this real-life appeal to it. And I think this is just great and exactly the mix of things I'm really looking forward to, and really hoping that they can carry that forward. You can see how this scene over here is created from just a few elements, and I think for me as a person who loves to be creative in the games and just try different things, I cannot wait to take these little Billy shelf things over there and just put them into each other, make them intersect, make weird little shapes out of it, try to make like a custom shelf, custom bedding, whatever. It's so much you can do with it, and this makes me really look forward to this. And now pair that with the wonderful opportunity of the customizations you have with the person there. I'm already hooked up. Now I'm like more the Sandbox player, so that's why I'm already hooked up, but obviously there is one layer that is missing, and that's the gameplay. We haven't seen too much of it. Well, in fact, we haven't seen that much at all. And I am really hoping if they nail that as well, this can be a huge thing. But if not, it can still be a very nice Sandbox living builder, if you want to call it that way. And I'm super stoked. Now, I want to end this video by just giving you my final thoughts on the development right now. So there's still no release date set on that game. You can put it on your wish list on Steam. You can have a look into the development. There's a huge buzz going on though, so the videos and the channel itself gets a lot of attention, which is well deserved, let me tell you. But I'm really curious to see when it's going to be released, and I will definitely follow up on that one. And now I want you to act. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this. Really comment the shit out of it, because I really want to know your guys' opinions on that. Do you like the customization option? Have you potentially maybe even heard of the game yet, or haven't you heard of it? Because again, I haven't covered this on my channel at all so far, because again, I think I was really also waiting for the person's reveal, and I almost forgot about it. It was really almost just like, because the lead designer hooked me up again, that there is the reveal, and I almost forgot about it, simply because I was just like a bit, you know, skeptical. But this really got me back. There's a little bit of hype building. I'm trying to not be too excited about it, but I'm really hoping and wishing the best for the developers, that they continue their way and create a wonderful game out of that. And yeah, again, let me know. Do you like the art style? Do you like the customization of these items? Would you love to have more textures rather than this shading approach they use here? And what do you think about the persons? Do you like Maggie? Do you like the way she looks? And do you like the way how you create some outfits? Let me all of this know down below in the comments. And now, yeah, I really hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. Have a good rest of the week ahead, and also a wonderful weekend later that week. See you in the next one, and I keep this game covered on this channel. There will be a bit more in the future, so keep your eyes out for that. And now have a good day, and goodbye everyone.